Good afternoon to all my wonderful viewers out there. Welcome back to our third episode of our weekly Sunday podcast, Sneakers and Stuff, where we talk about the latest releases, the upcoming releases in the sneaker, streetwear, and fashion worlds. Various crazy topics that we're going to be covering in today's episodes span from Louis Vuitton releasing a face shield, Vetements calling out Balenciaga, and some recently released collaborations like the BAPE Dreamville BAPESTAs. We're going to be covering that and more in today's episode, guys. It's going to be a fun-packed episode, and yeah, I'm very keen to do our third episode today. Yes, guys, here it is. So, episode 3, we're finally here, our third week into our weekly podcast series. We've got lots to cover, as you guys can clearly see here, and it goes on for another page. Now, how we're going to be talking about all these topics today, how we're going to plan this episode out, is just like we've done with the past 2 weeks. We're going to be covering it in sections. So we have section 1, which is Sunday's Best Dressed, where if any of you guys feel up to it, you can forward me your Instagram fit pics and label it as hashtag Sunday's Best Dress, and it'll appear in our weekly podcast episodes. I'll also try and do a nice little outfit or something for Sunday there. We'll then move on to Heat on My Feet, a retro or pair of shoes that I have been enjoying over the past week. I'll quickly dive into that and talk about a pair of shoes that I've loved. The third segment is recent releases, where we talk about both in streetwear, sneakers, and the fashion world, all the recent releases that's happened over the past couple days. Then we'll move on to segment number 4, which is streetwear news and rumors, where I'll talk about rumors for upcoming collections and upcoming collections that I have really enjoyed, just based off the lookbooks and stuff like that. We'll then move on to section number 5, which is the sneaker news and rumors. So basically the same thing, but in the sneaker world, rumors of upcoming sneakers and stuff like that. Stuff of which that hasn't been, officially confirmed, but it's a rumor as of yet. Moving on to our 6th segment, which is upcoming streetwear and fashion releases. That's where we'll talk about all the upcoming fashion releases that I have taken notes about. And then we move on to our 7th and final segment, which is upcoming sneaker releases. So all the sneaker releases that I definitely think, you got to put a pin on that are coming out in the coming week. So we've got our 7 segments, and we should move on now to our first segment, which will be Sunday's Best Dressed. Now, we don't have any fan submissions from you guys as of yet, so it looks like it's just going to be a submission from me. This is a little outfit that I threw together for today's episode. So originally with this outfit, I wanted to just wear the Supreme Digi hoodie from their Fall Winter 2017 collection, but because of the graphic on the back, I had to chuck on something a little bit extra there. So I decided to go with a 3XL flannel here, and then some black 501s and just these Chicago Jordan ones. But then I realized once I was scrolling through Instagram, I literally just look like 2013 A$AP Rocky or 2018 Travis Scott. So I was like, well, it's too late now. This is going to be Sunday's fit. So this is the outfit for episode 3. Just oversized flanny, hoodie, black 501s, and Chicago Jordan ones to come together to make a very A$AP Rocky Travis Scott type of fit here. And there you have it, guys. A fun little outfit that I put together for Sunday for our first segment, which is Sunday's Best Dressed. And as I always say, if you guys want to feature on that episode, feature in that segment in an episode, just post a photo of your outfit on Instagram and send it to me with the hashtag Sunday's Best Dressed, and then you guys can feature your outfits on YouTube there. It's a bit of a plug there, but we're moving on now to segment 2, which is Heat on My Feet, the segment where I talk about a recent pair of shoes that I've really been enjoying. Now, the pair that's going to go for this week's episode for week 3 is going to be the 2015 Chicago Jordan 1s. Now, I have loved these ever since I picked these up in 2016. I remember picking them up for like $350 US, which I know sounds absolutely insane now in 2020. I mean, and when I bought them, right, for 350 USD, they were brand new, dead stock. I still had the box. They came with the receipt, the bag, everything. and that was back in 2016 when, you know, everyone thought Jordan Brand was going to be dead. Everyone said Yeezy was going to be the new shoe, and well, obviously that changed quite a bit with how much the Yeezy releases. But yeah, this week I've really been enjoying this shoe. Honestly, the more I wear it, the more that it gets beaten up. Honestly, the more I fall in love with this shoe. It just looks really, really nice beaten up. I can't wait till the soles, the midsoles start yellowing, so it has that type of aesthetic to it. Then I'll start switching up the laces to like white or cream laces, and it'll feel like I'm wearing like a pair from '85 or something like that. But yeah, for this week's Heat on My Feet segment, it's gonna go towards this Air Jordan 1 from 2015, that retro. I absolutely love it. I'm super keen to see these get retroed again. Hopefully we get a retro for them in like 2021 or 2022, as I would love to pick a more true to the original pair up in the future. But definitely an awesome shoe there. I want to hear from you guys though. Let me know what your heat on your feet has been this week and what retros you've really been enjoying this past week. Let me know down in that comment section below. Now we're moving on to section number 3, recent releases in the sneaker, streetwear, and fashion world. So we've actually got a lot of releases that happened over the past week and even just the past 24 hours, guys. As I alluded to in my recent copped or dropped episode when I was talking about if I was, you know, able to cop or if I had to drop the Palace Mouth zip-up jacket from week 6, there is so many pairs of sneakers that released on Saturday, and I just didn't have time. I didn't have time to cover all 6. I literally don't have a lot of time these days to do a lot of YouTube videos, guys. I would honestly love to, but unfortunately YouTube is not paying the bills. So I have to do what I have to do. So we're going to be covering all those releases in this third segment today of our Sneakers and Stuff podcast. So the first recent release that I would like to talk about is the Golf Wang x Converse Chuck 70 highs. Yes, we got a new pair of Golf Wang Converse. They were on the Chuck 70 high model. Multiple different panels were colored in various different colors. It featured a lot of signature motifs from Golf Wang. It released on September 12th for $120 US. Quite pricey considering it is a pair of Converse, but a very lovely pair of shoes there. I do love the multicolored panels. It was just really nice to get a refreshing release and a release of some Golf Wang stuff. So yes, that released on September 12th, guys, for $120 US. Next, we have to move on to 2 brands that we don't talk about a lot, and one of them we haven't talked about at all on the channel. So, another recent release was between Casablanca and New Balance. They released a pair of 327s, two pairs of 327s on the 12th via Casablanca's web store, and it was a raffle to enter in to get a pair. These apparently are going to get a wider release further down the track, potentially this weekend, but they got an early release on Casablanca's store there. I love Casablanca as a brand. Their whole vibe is definitely centered around, I would say, tennis wear. The item that I would love to pick up from them is their orange knits, stuff like actual fruit orange knits. They're very nice. I love my knits. They released some awesome orange themed knits, so I would definitely love to pick up some from there. But yes, they collaborated with New Balance over the weekend to release 2 pairs of 327s, and it basically works really well with Casablanca's overall aesthetic. Hopefully we'll see another release of these on the New Balance store potentially next week, but those released on the 12th. Unfortunately, I don't have a retail price for you guys on those. Moving on, we have the Packer x New Balance 992s. They released on September 12th for $240 USD, which is a bit pricey, but New Balance is a very good brand. Yes, this Packer pair was really well done. I love the colors and the use of materials on it. I could definitely see this being a hit for a lot of people. It didn't really scream Packer a lot. It kind of just seemed like a general release from New Balance, but apparently it was in collaboration. Definitely going to hit off with a lot of New Balance fans there, and that released on September 12th for $240 US. Next, we'll move on to the Adidas Yeezy Boost 380 Pepper and Pepper Reflective. These released on N's web store for around about $290 US. It was done in British pounds, so It released for a little bit more than the normal retail price if you were to pick it up in America and stuff like that. Allegedly, these are getting another release a week from now, so this coming Saturday. I don't know if that's true or not, but they also released on Adidas Australia, so it looks like the small stockists are getting their release first, and then a more general release is coming out later. Obviously, for just the normal pepper color, not the pepper reflectives, those are always going to be limited. These are actually sitting on End Store. It was actually really interesting to see that. I went on like 6 hours later after the drop, and most of the sizes were still available. People were actually sleeping on the 380s, so really says something about Yeezy in 2020, and especially the Yeezy 380s. They're just they're not hitting off with a lot of people. It's a very hit or miss colorway for it as well. So yeah, that released recently, guys. We might see another release of it, but yeah, the Pepper 380s released on Saturday the 12th on End and Adidas Australia. Moving on, we had the Nike X Cactus Plant Flea Market Air Force One Sunshine colorway release on the 10th. It was $130 US. It was a very big release there. It honestly was a really solid release as well. It was a pair of Air Forces combined with the up tempos, and the up tempo lettering style was done around the side of the Air Force. I honestly thought it was really nice. You couldn't complain about it. It was a pair of white Air Forces. Like, you can't say no to that, right? Very, very well done, and that released on September 10th. Moving on, we have another September 10th release. Adidas and Ninja collaborated for another pair of sneakers. Another pair of the Night Joggers got released for 149 euros, so like 190 USD, I want to say. Quite expensive, but it's an all boost runner, so I can understand why it's a little bit pricey there. I didn't really think too much of this. I just thought to cover it because, you know, obviously this is a big thing to have a gamer collaborate with a sporting brand. So yeah, we got that release on September 10th for 149 euros. Moving on, we have one of the highlight sneaker drops that happened recently. On September 12th, as I'm saying, it all released yesterday, and there were so many releases. BAPE collaborated with Dreamville to do a pair of BAPESTAs. The colorway wasn't too bad. It wasn't anything exciting. It was more the fact that it's in collaboration with a huge hip-hop collective. You actually got some of the guys to model it. I think Earthgang did actually model the actual pair there. I didn't mind it too much, but heaps of people were really, really bitter about it in the comment sections that I was reading, so we'll leave it at that. But I thought it was a pretty solid release. These released on September 12th in-store and online with BAPE's Japanese and US stores there. Moving on, we had the Nike Dunk Low Community Gardens that released on the 10th. They released for 100 USD. They also released a little bit earlier for Australia because we got a smaller amount of stock and we got it released earlier to us. It's a very nice colorway, very nice use of materials. I thought it was a very unique dunk. I actually really, really enjoyed the colorway there. I want to hear how you guys feel about that, but that released on September 10th for 100 US dollars. Moving into clothing now, we had Travis Scott, as I assumed as well. We mentioned it in the second episode. We had Travis Scott collaborate with McDonald's, and they did 2 drops of clothing. Most notably from the actual collection, there was also some accessories, and the accessory that caused the internet to go absolutely wild was that the first drop got a McNugget body pillow in the release, which, I mean, I knew the collaboration was going to be like this, guys. I was like, you know what? They're going to release a bunch of clothing on really, really cheap quality blanks. It's going to be a bunch of co-branded stuff, and there's going to be some crazy wild accessories. And exactly that. We got a bloody McNugget body pillow. So yeah, that released. They released on different days, so it was kind of just over this last week it released. Let me know in that comment section below if you guys picked up any of the Travis Scott McDonald's merch. Moving on, the next drop actually happened and I didn't have time to cover it just because of how, like, the timing of its release. So the Palace Autumn Week 6 dropped on Friday, right? And I covered the drop list on Wednesday. But on Thursday, literally like less than 24 hours before the actual drop happened, Palace announced that it was doing a collaboration with Gore-Tex and doing a small capsule that will release on alongside in week 6. This came out of nowhere. There were no teasers for it. It just happened. It sold out on Friday, but then on Saturday, It must have not sold out in Japan or China because it got a restock on the Palace web store. So everything that was out of stock came back into stock. Maybe some people canceled their orders. I honestly don't know. But yeah, it was very, very popular. That was a highlight of week 6. Unfortunately, I didn't get to cover it before it released, but I thought I'd cover it now. It was basically a jacket, pants, and there was one more piece as well. And they were done in 3 colors: black, gray, or camo, all of which sold out and were very, very popular on that Friday release there. And last but not least, we have the Kith X Calvin Klein collection. Now, this released in 2 parts this week. So we got the Monday program that had a short sleeve, long sleeve, and crew neck sweater released in it. And when I did the video on that, I was kind of confused because that whole weekend they were teasing all this underwear, and I was like, you're collaborating with Calvin Klein, surely you're gonna do underwear. And then the Monday program threw me off because there was no underwear. But then on Friday, Kith announced that on Saturday, the 12th, they were going to do their underwear collection, which featured a classic take and a seasonal take on the Calvin Klein underwear series. So they did a series of the underwear that was more Calvin Klein focused, and then a series of underwear that was more Kith focused with like monogram prints and Kith traditional colors and stuff like that. It was a very, very well handled release there, and honestly I thought it was a good thing. A lot of people are skipping over it and like actually not even talking about it right now, but I think it's a really, really good collection that definitely needs to be spoken about. I don't know if this coming Monday program will be as good, but we'll just have to wait and see. But that is the final recent release that we're going to be covering today, guys. So we'll move on to section number 4, where we'll talk about streetwear rumors, but you know, upcoming collections, things like that, and announcements for upcoming collections that I think have a lot of potential, are really, really cool, and also recent collections that have been announced that I think are really, really cool as well. So let's head on over to section 4 now and have a look at all those various different topics there. So let's dive into it, guys. So section 4. What could we possibly be discussing in section 4? Well, let's start it off with a streetwear rumor that we have previously discussed in this series as well, guys. So, Yoji Yamamoto x Supreme. Yes, those rumors have been brought back again to apparently allude to that we are getting a Yoji Yamamoto Supreme collaboration this fall winter season. I'm actually quite keen for it. Look, if it does come out, if there is anything that comes of this, I'm super keen for this. I think Yoji Yamamoto does amazing work in his various different brands and, you know, projects and things like that. I would be keen to see our Supreme Yoji Yamamoto collaboration would come out. I mean, Supreme does very tasteful collaborations with a lot of big contemporary designers. I mean, the Undercover collaborations I think are always a good time. The Jean-Paul Gaultier collaborations with Supreme was a good time. You know, like I think it can be done. I think it can be done. But yeah, the rumors died down in week 2. People were like, maybe it isn't happening. But then as soon as week 3 happened, the rumors came back again. Like I was seeing all these posts on Instagram of people being like, nah, it's like definitely a thing. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. Hopefully it will be a thing, but yeah, there's still that alleged rumor going around that it is gonna be a release and that we're gonna get it this season. Moving on, just a bit of streetwear news. This one is kind of a crazy one, but I thought, you know what? I feel like section 4 streetwear news and rumors is probably the best place to cover this type of thing. But yeah, a one-of-a-kind sample tie-dye box logo Supreme tee recently sold for 52,000 American dollars. Yes, you guys, you heard me right. 52 grand American. That's like easily 75 grand Australian. This was apparently a one-of-one friends and family sample BOGO tee that was made in around the 2006-2007 era. They determined that from the stitching, the cut of the tee, everything like that. None of them are dated. There's no way of telling besides comparing it to old tees and stuff like that and having an idea of when it would have released. Yes, so there has never been a Supreme tie-dye box logo. I know it's a big trend on Instagram, especially last year it was, to tie-dye box logos and stuff like that, but this was a legitimate sample made by Supreme. Never released to the public, it was a one-of-one, and someone recently bought it at auction for 52,000 American dollars. It's pretty wild stuff. But yeah, I had never heard of this tie-dye box logo sample until it was sold for 52 grand. So I mean, just it wasn't even the sale that really shocked me. It really shocked me. I was like, wow, there are so many items out there that no one has ever seen before, that are one of ones that the world only knows about when they're sold for ridiculous amounts of money. So yeah, just thought I'd bring that up on this section, guys. There was a tie-dye BOGO sample that sold for 52 grand this week. Moving on, we'll move on to a collection that recently has been teased or showcased to us that I thought was really, really cool. The collection that I thought was really, really cool that was recently showcased to us was the Sue Undercover Autumn-Winter 2020 collection. The promotional images for this collection is really, really cool. A lot of it is quite feminine in the collections, but there's a lot of crew neck sweaters and stuff like that that I was like, damn, that's actually some pretty cool stuff. I can see that working in more of a like androgynous styled fits and stuff like that, like stuff that isn't specifically tailored to a gender. I think a lot of that collection is really, really cool, and just looking at the promotional images, I was like, this looks like a pretty dope collection. So I thought I'd just share that with you guys today. Yeah, the Sue Undercover Autumn Winter 2020 collection. Moving on to one of my favorite brands when it comes to jewelry and things like that. Another collection that I thought was really, really cool that got teased to us was Alix Studios Spring Summer 2021 collection. Now, this wasn't just because of the jewelry that was teased in this collection. It was also because of the outwear and stuff like that. There is this denim jacket with studs on it. Oh, it is crazy. I absolutely love it. It's an awesome, awesome piece that got teased to us in a couple promotional images for this collection that's releasing next year. I really, really like it, but also on top of that, speaking on the jewelry that Alix does, I also really, really loved the jewelry that was teased for the Spring Summer 2021 collection. I said after buying each piece here, I was like, that's it, I no longer need to buy any more. Like, it's fine. This jewelry will last me a lifetime. And then I saw the Spring Summer 2021 jewelry from Alix Studios, and I was like, might have to retract that statement. No, yeah, it's super sick. Definitely go check out the images posted on Alix Studios' Instagram for that season. I'm very keen to see what actually becomes of that collection. Moving on, this isn't really a new collection that was teased to us. It's more of like a new release, but I thought it was really, really cool, and I felt like, you know, section 4 of this podcast would be a good place to mention it. What I am going to be covering is the Capital, however you want to pronounce it. The Japanese iconic denim brand is releasing their Flare Star Hippie Insane, I think it's remote denim. I think that's what they called it. These denim jeans, right, where they just have crazy different textures chucked all over them. The wash is absolutely wild. I don't think I would wear a denim piece like that, a denim jean piece like that, but honestly, give me that in like a crazy jacket and I am on board. I will wear that with a white hoodie, white tee, and just some normal denim, and I'm there. I'm like fully on board. But I thought the denim jeans were just like a crazy thing that we definitely need to talk about on the podcast. They were wild. I thought they were absolutely cool. Let me know in the comment section below if you would wear something like this, but I thought they were absolutely sick. And now to move on to more streetwear news, or in this case fashion news. Louis Vuitton has released a face shield. It's currently being released in the Hong Kong area, in the Asia area. Its converted price to American dollars is $968 US. Yes, you got to pay $968 for a Louis Vuitton face shield to keep yourself looking bougie in the coronavirus times. I think it's the most ridiculous piece. I can't believe they're actually releasing it. But I suppose you could actually style it and actually have it in a bunch of outfits, but it's just a waste of money. Well, in my opinion, it's a waste of money. Maybe if you're making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a day, it's like chump change, but I just thought it was absolutely wild, man. Yeah, so Louis Vuitton, they're doing face masks. And last but not least, in our streetwear news and rumors, we have a little bit of streetwear news. We have Vetements calling out Balenciaga. Now, just to fill you in on this, guys, this is like purely satire. It's like a meme. The original designer of Vetements, Denmar Vaselia, he has moved back to Balenciaga, and he's moved his style and his take on clothing that he had at Vetements and brought it to Balenciaga. And there was a tee that they did like a while ago, which had a name tag on it, everything like that. And now in a new Balenciaga season, that same tee is coming out under Balenciaga's obviously branch there. And there was like a post on Vetements' page that were like calling out Balenciaga as like a joke. It was very classic Vetements to do something like that, to be like really satire and just like making fun of fashion as a whole, because that's what the whole brand's about, right? Like, it's just being a big meme in the fashion world, charging people $800 for oversized hoodies, like that kind of stuff. Like, it's a big meme. I just thought it was a big laugh because like you see all these fashion meme pages, and this was the first time you see an actual high-end fashion brand doing that to itself in a way. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was very well done. But that rounds off section 4, guys. That rounds off all of our streetwear news, rumors, and collections that I think are really, really cool and upcoming. We'll move on now to the next section, which is section number 5 of the podcast, which is sneaker news and rumors. Now, moving on to section number 5, guys, we have sneaker news and sneaker rumors. And to start that off with, we have quite a big bit of sneaker news here. So Kanye West, just casually, just for the laughs, tweeted out the rest of this year's Yeezy releases. Yeah, guys. You know, all these brands are like, you know, we've got to keep everything hush hush. You know, we can't tell anyone that we're releasing something next week. And Kanye's just like, I think I'm just gonna let the fans know this is what's gonna happen for the next 3 months. So yeah, it's been done. We now know all the Yeezy releases up until the end of 2020, and some of them have got people worried. Why is that? Because, well, a lot of sneaker resellers that have 50 pairs in their mum's basement are worried because their bred 350 V2s are getting restocked in full family sizing. This has been a rumor for ages. I don't even know how many years that we're going to get another release of the 350 V2 breads, and now Kanye has confirmed it. We're getting a restock of the 350 V2 breads, a very sought after colorway of the 350 V2s, and what a nightmare that is for sneaker resellers. I just gotta say, guys, that's why I always say wear your shoes, because you know it doesn't matter. Kanye can just come out tomorrow and say I'm restocking them all. You know, like it doesn't really matter when it comes to the value of them. But another thing that's got people a little bit annoyed or worried is that we're getting another Zebra 350 V2 restock. Yeah, guys, I don't even know what number this is at this point. It's like, what, number 6 or 7 now? Who even knows, man? I feel like we're going to get to the point where the retail price will be more expensive than the resale price for these Yeezys. I mean, does everyone have a pair of 350 V2 Zebras by now? I swear everyone does. I don't, because I don't particularly like the 350 V2 model on me. I don't think it will work for me. I love my skate looking shoes, you know, so Air Jordan 1s, the early Jordans, a lot of 70s and 80s Nike shoes. That's my vibe, you know. 350 V2s not as much, but yeah, heaps of crazy stuff. We also, in that leak, or at least this tweet, got showcased to us that in December we're going to get the 450, the model that we talked about last week, and a new pair of Yeezy slides. Very different from the normal Yeezy slides. It's more like the Yeezy foam runner. It's got these crazy like patterns and like, not patterns, but shapes on it and stuff like that. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. It looks like December onwards we're moving into the new Yeezy era where new models and stuff are coming out, which I'm totally fine with. I think that's honestly awesome because, you know, rehashing the same stuff over and over again gets quite boring. As we just mentioned, you know, the Zebra Yeezys have been out so long, so it's super nice to see the new models coming out. It's a big plus. But yeah, to start off the section 5 of our podcast, the sneaker news and rumors, we're gonna have Kanye West tweeting out all the rest of the year's releases when it comes to Yeezys. Secondly, moving over to Yeezy's big competitor, that is Jordan Brand, the brand we know and love. We are allegedly in November getting a retro of the Air Jordan 4 Fire Reds. This is big news. This is big news because from my knowledge, from what I know, that the Air Jordan 4 Fire Reds have not gotten an OG retro ever. This is the first time since 1989 they have gotten OG branding on them, or at least an OG shape to them, because of this alleged release of the Air Jordan 4 Fire Reds that is apparently coming out in mid-November. It's going to try and replicate the original shape of an Air Jordan 4 from 1989 as closely as it can, which honestly, thank you, Jordan Brand. Like, seriously, thank you for trying to replicate the shape, because Jordans these days look absolutely nothing like how they looked when they first released. You go compare the shape to a modern one, they look totally different. I'm always on the train of let's have them the same as they were when they first released, because that's what I want. That's why the whole reason I buy a retro. So yeah, I'm just super happy to hear that Jordan 4s are being reverted back to their old shape, and also that the Fire Reds are getting released, and also that it's OG branding. Because you know me, you know, OG or nothing, OG or bust. I love my OG branding, so to hear it have the correct branding on it, on an OG colorway, to have the correct shape, I'm like, you know what? That just ticks every single goddamn box that I wanted from it. So yeah, come mid-November, allegedly it's November 17th, I will definitely be trying to pick that up, guys. I will put $300 aside. I'll do a live cop video for you guys on Nike Australia. Probably going to cop an L because Nike Australia, I have no chance of picking one up. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, allegedly we are getting the Jordan 4 Fire Reds OG Retro in 2020. And moving on to our last piece of sneaker news and rumors, we are allegedly getting a Air Jordan 6 Carmine Retro. Quite interesting. I actually remember when they got retroed in like 2014, I want to say. Was it 2014? Air Jordan 6 gang, let me know if I'm right there, because my Air Jordan 6 knowledge is a little bit shaky there on the retros. But yeah, awesome to see it getting retroed. It's an amazing colorway. When it came out in 2014 for a retro, it didn't have OG branding on it, which wasn't my vibe. But apparently in 2020, the retro is going to get OG branding. Also quite interesting to notice, the 2014 pair had the Air Jordan 1s released alongside it. The Air Jordan 1 Carmines also appeared on Forest Hill Drive's, you know, J. Cole's album. They're the Jordan 1s he's wearing on the front of the cover. So an iconic colorway featured in a lot of different subcultures there. And the Jordan 6 version of it is amazing as well. Personally, for the Jordan 6, I don't really like them as much as the 5s. I think the 5s are just like amazing when it comes to comfort. The 6s, that heel, man, it's not as comfy for me, and I don't wear my 6s a lot because of that whole reason. I mean, I've only got one pair of 6s, but I don't wear them a lot because they're just not as comfortable as the 5s. Ever since I got my first pair of 5s, the black metallics, game changer. But yeah, we'll end it at that. To end off our 5th segment, sneaker news and rumors, we are allegedly getting, around the same time as the Fire Red 4s, a pair of Air Jordan 6 Carmines in OG branding. So pretty crazy stuff. So we'll move over to our next page now and move over to section 6. And section 6 is upcoming streetwear and fashion releases. Let's go have a look at that, guys, and see what's coming out this week. Okay guys, we'll move on to section 6 now. So this is upcoming streetwear and fashion releases. I haven't actually found a lot of info on stuff that is releasing this week. Not surprisingly though, I mean, we're doing the episode on a Sunday. You know, if there is releases towards the end of the week, they'll probably, you know, start getting heaps of news and articles being written about them, probably more towards around the mid time about the week, so Tuesday, Wednesday. So it is a little bit early, but we'll just go over the regular stuff that is releasing this week. So we're obviously getting Supreme week 4 of their fall winter 2020 collection. No confirmation on what is releasing this week. I doubt it's going to be any of the big pieces like the, you know, cross BOGO and stuff like that. It's not going to be anything too crazy. If it was, I'd be very surprised to see week 4 get a huge piece like that being released. And we don't know any, you know, rumors to do with any collaborations that are happening this week. Maybe if the Yoji Yamamoto thing actually is a thing, then we might get it in week 4. But yeah, no rumors on that. But, you know, week 4 of Supreme's fall winter 2020 collection will drop on the 17th. Hopefully we get some really nice pieces this week. And moving on, speaking of basically its British competitor, I suppose, we have Palace's 7th week of their autumn 2020 collection. The first couple weeks of this season were not too good, but the past couple weeks have been quite nice. 5 and 6 were quite nice. I'm very keen for week 7. Hopefully we get some really nice pieces in there. I don't buy a lot of Palace stuff, but when Palace does it right, they really do it right, and they can really come out with some really nice pieces. So yeah, week 7 is dropping on the 18th there, day after Supreme's drop, obviously, as it drops on the Friday. p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully we do get some nice pieces this week, and as soon as the information comes out, I'll do a drop list video for you guys there. Now tomorrow, as we assume every single week, Kith will probably do a Monday program. No confirmation on what the Monday program is at the moment. When I wake up tomorrow, Kith will most likely have posted what it's going to be while I was asleep, so I'll cover it tomorrow just before I head off to work. And we'll try and get that video out for you guys. But yes, obviously on the 14th of September, we will have the new Monday program. Will it top the Calvin Klein collaboration? Who knows? I have no idea what it's going to be, but we'll just have to see what the collaboration or the Monday program is going to be there. Moving on, we have the Fragment X Jordan brand apparel collection releasing on the 17th of September. Yes, guys, it's finally coming out. We're finally getting the Fragment Designs X Jordan brand collaboration. So Hiroshi Fujiwara is coming to bless us with a bunch of co-branded Jordan brand apparel. This is going to be extremely hard to get because everyone's going to be going for it. The Fragment ones are like one of the most sought after Jordan 1 models, so anything Fragment Jordan brand related from then on is just always going to be super sought after, so be prepared for that. That is dropping on the 17th. Get a whole bunch of different pieces in that collection. There's actually one or two pieces that I don't mind myself too much, but I mean, I'm not going to try and go for it because it's just going to be a nightmare. But that releases on the 17th, so the same day as the Supreme drop, so you might have to choose which drop you're going for this week in that regards. And last but not least, a more fashion orientated release instead of a streetwear one. 10C and Sacai are collaborating for Sacai's Fall Winter 2020 collection, and they're doing like sporty military wear for their collection. It looks sick. I love a bunch of the trench coats and like military coats and stuff like that. Just amazing pieces. I'm super sad to be transitioning into a warmer period over the next couple months because, man, that Sacai stuff, I would love to pick up some of that. Although in saying that, because Sacai is a Japanese brand, the sizing is going to be a little bit small, so it will run a little bit small there, guys, so look out for that. But I would love to pick up some of those pieces. But that is our last bit of information that we have for section 6 there, guys, in our streetwear and fashion releases. I will move on now to our final section of the podcast, which is upcoming sneaker releases. And as I said, guys, last but not least, we have section 7 of the podcast, which is upcoming sneaker releases. And we're going to start it off by talking about an Adidas release here. So we have the Sambas getting a release, but it's in collaboration with Jonah Hill. Yes, Jonah Hill is collaborating with Adidas to do some Sambas. They are coming in either a green colorway, which very interesting color of green there with some very crazy contrasting embroidery, or a burgundy, which is my preference. If I had to pick out of the two, I'd be going for the burgundy colorway. You may disagree, totally fair enough, but I don't know, I just wasn't feeling that colorway. They're going to release on the 16th for $110 US. Moving on, we have, of course, the big release that is happening this week, the one that is causing people to go absolutely wild, which is the Fragment X Jordan 3s. Yes, they are finally getting released. These things have been teased for like over a year now. They're taking a lot of inspiration and a lot of motifs used on recent Fragment collaborations with the Nike brand and the Nike family. As Fragment Designs recently did a pair of Montclair Converses with a bunch of text around the side of the midsole, and they've transported that over here to the Jordan 3s. Most notably as well, the branding on the back is co-branded, and they've done like a transparent shell over the back of the branding, which has a Jumpman on it. A very interesting move there. It seems to be the Japanese brands, when they collaborate with Jordan brand, they seem to be doing that these days, because we saw those like denim or whatever the hell they were, Jordan 3s recently with that same thing. So yeah, that is releasing this week. Huge release. It's releasing on the 17th, the same day as the apparel, for $190 US there. Next, we have the Nike Dunk High Pro in a green colorway. Now, this is a two-tone colorway, white and this really dark green. I'm talking so dark that I could barely tell it was green until I zoomed in on it, and I was like, yo, it actually is green. It is like the darkest green I've ever seen on a sneaker. This is releasing for allegedly $110 USD on the 18th. Moving on, we have a Jordan brand release, or at least just a normal no dual collaboration Jordan release, just a normal Jordan release. We're getting the Jordan 14s in a hyper royal colorway. I actually quite like this colorway. It actually makes the Jordan 14s look a lot more appealing than they normally do. I think the Jordan 14s are a very overlooked 14. I honestly wouldn't mind picking up the Last Shot 14s. They're a very nice colorway. Very underrated shoe, But yeah, the Jordan 14 hyper royals are releasing for 190 USD on the 19th there. So very late in the week on the Friday. That's all I really have for us actually this week as of yet, guys. The sneaker releases this week there was a lot more, but then they got pushed back. So it's a little bit sketchy on the sneaker releases this week. If any prop up out of nowhere and I have some free time from, you know, working like 40 hours this week, I'll try and cover it for you guys. But yeah, not too many releases compared to the previous weeks. But we did cover a lot in this episode today, guys. We went through a lot of upcoming rumors. We went through a lot of recent releases. How crazy was that many sneaker releases on the 12th though? There was the Casablancas, New Balances, there was the Golf Wang Converse, there was the Packer New Balances, there was the Pepper 380 Yeezys, there was the BAPE Dreamville BAPESTAs. Yeah, there was so much that released on the Saturday. I think it kind of took away from everything else this week because this week's kind of quiet, apart from the Fragment Jordan brand collaboration in the sneaker world. But there is some nice clothing releases. If anything, I'm really keen for the Fragment Jordan brand clothing release that's happening on the 17th as well. I honestly think I'll be more keen on the apparel than the actual shoes themselves, guys. But that's it. That is episode 3 of our podcast of Sneakers and Stuff, guys. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions on anything that we've covered in today's episode. You know, what's your heat on your feet this week? What are you looking forward to that's releasing this week? You know, is it a pair of sneakers? Is it some clothing? Or are you just not feeling anything from this week? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions on everything that we've covered in today's episode on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or scroll on down and let me know in that comment section below. And that's it, guys. That's everything I've got to cover for this upcoming week and everything that released recently. I'd love to hear all your thoughts and opinions about everything that we covered down in that comment section below. And of course, if you want me to keep doing upcoming Sneakers and Stuff episodes every Sunday, upcoming Sneaker Talk episodes, or upcoming Streetwear Talk episodes, don't forget to leave a big old like on this video, comment in the comment section down below, and subscribe to the channel as we are trying to hit a milestone of 2,700 subscribers before the end of September. Now, it has been a bit of a slow month, but that's okay. You know, we can't always have amazing months like we have the past 2 months. Hopefully, if we don't do too well this month, we can push for next month and hit our goal of 3,000 subs before the end of the year, guys. But thank you for the continuous support. Thank you for watching the videos till the end. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you for the continuous support. But that's about it. I am exhausted after working all those hours this week and then doing YouTube on the weekend, and just so tired, ready to go to bed, honestly, ready. But I got to do some editing first. Hopefully I can get it out on Sunday, guys. Sorry, I'm just so exhausted. But yeah, thank you for watching today's episode, guys. Until the next Sneakers and Stuff episode, until the next Sneaker Talk episode, until the next Streetwear Talk episode, guys, I'll catch you later.